Hi there, I'm Hank Dullison. This is Rosevilla. These are the Rosevilla gardens, and I just finished putting in a post in the ground with my magic post in the ground putter inner. So we're getting ready to get back to work in the gardens. I've built some trellises, pea trellis and a bean tower. I'd like to show you how that's done. So let's go ahead and make a pea trellis. I just put 2 T-bar posts in the ground, and now I'm going to use some string, if I ever find the end of it, to make a crossbar. This is probably one of the simplest ways to go, and I like using string. You can use wire, you can use hose clamps if you want, anything like that. Well, I finally got the other side secured, so I'll get this side secured. You only have to have this kind of a trellis up for a season, 2 or 3 months, maybe 4 months at most. So it's perfectly all right to have something temporary like this. Do the same thing for the bottom. Make it nice and tight. And you just take it up and down a ways. Keep it simple. Keep it fast. So there we have it. Your handy dandy pea vine trellis. Simple, sturdy. It'll hold up for the season. Now we just have to find some pea seeds or pea starch. Because it's so late in the season, it being late June, we might have to plant these seeds in starch rather than, or peas in starch rather than in seeds. But that's okay. In a couple months, we'll have lots and lots of peas. Now, I'd like to make a bean teepee. Very simple process. 3 sticks, put them together, tie string around it about a foot down from the top, tie it real loosely. You'll find out why in just a minute. Tie it real loose. Leave the string attached. Bring it over to where you're going to put it up. Which is right about here, and then just spread it out. One here, one there. There we go, one here, one there, one there. There. And here's where it helps to have a little extra weight, because you want to drive it down into the ground, kind of like that. There we go. That looks about right. And you take your string, figure out about how much you're going to need. And the reason you're doing this is so that the beans have something to latch onto and grow. And we'll do a close-up over there. There's a bean over on the other side that is actually holding on to the bean teepee. There we are. That's about it. Wrap it around a time or two, tie it off. Let's go over here and take a look at this one. We still got slugs going on down here, big old slug holes. But this one lived. So what we're going to do, we're just going to wind it around here, wind it all the way up to here, and it's just going to take off. Then we'll go get some bean seeds or bean starch and put a couple more on each one of the posts. And this whole thing, in about a month or 2, 6 weeks, will be covered with beans. Okay, while we're down here, we're going to plant a few potatoes. And these are white potatoes. And as I started to say, we bought them a couple months ago, and they've been sitting on the kitchen counter ever since. And they've grown. I think everybody's looked in their refrigerator and seen something like this. This is perfectly good. We are going to plant this, and it will grow into a beautiful potato plant. And in this particular bed, which is about 18 inches wide, right across here we planted carrots yesterday. And so the carrots will come up on the south side of the potatoes, on the sunny side of the potatoes. Carrots are a long crop. They'll take a while to grow. And by the time the potatoes are ready to harvest, the carrots should be ready to harvest, and we can dig them all up at the same time. So how do you plant potato, particularly when it's already this shape? Well, you dig down about 5 inches with either a trowel or your fingers. Put it down with the tips facing up and bury it. I'm going to bury this one with the tips just coming through the surface. But this one, which is not quite as far along, I'm just going to bury it all the way down, but I'm going to bury it so it sits upright. And this one, which again is not very far along, looks like some sort of alien, doesn't it? Get it down in there so that the growing parts face up. We'll come back in a month or so and see how much these have grown. And by the way, this is a good illustration of what's called tilth. How good your soil is, what kind of tilth your soil has. As you can see, I'm not using a trowel, I'm not using a shovel, I'm using my fingers, and I'm able to dig down with my fingers 5 or 6 inches deep. Because of the raised beds that we have it in, and because of the way that we worked it the last time that we talked, I showed you how we were working up the soil. And this is the kind of soil you wind up with. Good planting soil. Let's go over here to the strawberries and plant some onions. We're going to do some companion planting here. Companion planting is when you plant one crop right alongside the other crop, and they are friends with each other. So I'm going to take a few red onions. You can see the red onion right there. And you want to put these in an inch or two into the ground, facing upright. So just kind of go like that, stick it in the ground. You want to get them so they're all 6 inches apart maybe. I can tell when these are good or bad because I squeeze them and there's nothing in there. I'm not a big fan of planting in rows, of being real methodical. I like just jamming stuff into the ground and seeing what's going to happen. I've been surprised more often than not at how wonderful things grow. If you just kind of stand back and let Mother Nature take over. So now that we've gotten through our wet, miserable spring, now we're into our dry, hot summer, where we're going to have to be down here pretty much every day splashing water about. And that's about it. If you have any questions, complaints, any comments, you can reach me at rosevilla.org/roses. Thank you for watching. See you next time.